Fantastic, and today guys, I'm here to do the anime review, and this anime review is to Blue Exorcist Season 2, Episode 1, guys! Yes, guys! Blue Exorcist Anime Season 2 is here! Yes! Now, most people you did not know, it's confirmed. Now it's out, the second season of Blue Exorcist. Now, here's one thing I need to say about this episode before I even get into agree what the episode is about. If you have not read the manga or watched the anime up to the point after Ren lost control of his power in the forest when he was doing one of his exams to be an exorcist. If you have not read or watched to that point in the manga or the anime, I don't recommend watching this season. Of course, because it's the second season of Blue Exorcist, so obviously it's gonna be second season. It's not a remaster. In some sense, it technically is a remake, but only to the point of the season. Because season 2, if you guys didn't know, the original season 1 anime, it got after what I just said, after the exam part when Ren lost control of his powers, after losing control of the blue flames. If you guys don't know that, if you guys did not know, it went to an anime original. It went to anime original because it looked like the anime caught up to the manga at that point. Because of that, it had to go to the anime only route, and it ended like that. But season 2, I was expecting at least maybe anime original season 2, or still carrying from the manga where it left, but it would be interloping what happened in the last season, how the last season ended. But in this situation, that would be a no, because I was a bit skeptic about how the episode was done. I was like, why is it? Because when I saw Yukio, I was like, wait, last season, like season 1, did he at the end? Didn't he turn into part demon as well? Like, didn't he get also the flames of Satan as well? I was like wondering, so why does he look again his normal human self? So I was a bit skeptical at the beginning of it. Like the proper beginning, again, it had a slight feeling like it was an episode. Like it was continuing from it's the next episode of another normal season, which is surprising. Because anime that do that means that they're following exactly how the last episode of last season left off. That will be my understanding. Of course, with Blue Exorcist, it was a lot different because, well, this season it felt like that, but yet again, also, I was wondering why it felt like that, why it was being like that, because last season was not even that point to make sure it can get into this episode. Because last season was an ending that you could say, okay, we can finish Blue Exorcist. That's how we're gonna finish Blue Exorcist. That's how it can stay. That's what the ending felt like. And if there was a possible second season, I'd be alright with it and see how well they can interlope the ending of season 1 into it. But in this one, that wasn't the case. It felt like I said, another episode to season 1. That's what it felt like. And like I said, if that was the case, at least they could have interloped it from that previous, or how the last season Blue Exorcist ended. They could have interloped it in that way. But yet again, it felt awkward if it doing that because how that episode ended, because it felt like that could be the end of the season. But I digress from that. But yeah, that's what the feeling I got from season 2 is that I feel like, I was speculating, maybe it was retelling from that point. It was retelling the story from that point. And I didn't fully understand until until the others. So the other Rin, after Ren's teammates, well, fellow students training, reacted. Especially, I'm trying to remember his name. Oh man, I'm trying to remember his name. Branch. I think that's his name, but you know, the delinquent looking dude who is actually fucking smart. Like, if you guys don't know, the delinquent guy dude who looks like a delinquent, but he's actually an intelligent guy. You know that guy? If you watched or read Blue Exorcist last season, pretty much, we are in the way he acted. Like, I remember he acted like that when in last season. He acted like when Ren, when he got found out Ren was born of Satan. So why? That's why I was wondering why is he pissed? When I saw why he's pissed, like when I saw him pissed like that, I was like, that's what it fully confirmed to me that, oh, so that means this is a continuation, but from that point, it was the Italian what the manga was actually doing at that point. This was what the manga wanted to do at that point. Not actually how the anime did it. It was actually how the manga wanted to do it. But the route that manga was taking. So I was like, oh, so this is the continuation of that point of that in the anime, or that point of Blue Exorcist. It's not a continuation of the first season. Again, like I said, it is a continuation of the first season, but not all of it. Only from the point where Rin lost control of his blue flames. That is when that's where it's continuing on from. So I was a bit expected, but until it showed Butch being pretty much pissed at him being the son of Satan, and that's when oh, okay, I understand. So yeah, so I was a bit clueless what was going on that time, but now let's get on what the episode was pretty much about. Episode, like I said, it's pretty much a continuation of from that route. Like, it was pretty much an episode of season 1. And that was pretty much what it was. An episode of what? Season 1. An episode that was following season 1. That's pretty much it. It's just an episode that could just feel like it could just be in season 1. It doesn't have to be a separate season. It was a season 1 episode. That's what it felt like. And that was how it was portrayed. So that's why lucky for me, I have watched Blue Exorcist enough times to actually have it quite clear in my mind of how the anime was and how different parts were. Even though for a while I have not watched it, at least I watched enough. Like, I watched it like 5 times. So by now it should be like stuck in my brain how it was. And I read some of the manga, so I know so I know some of the difference between the anime and the manga. And of course, anime and manga are always going to have their differences. There's no way, unless the anime does it so well, and maybe adding some other things to it that is connected actually to those specific scenes, but pretty much nothing different. And I have seen it before, and it was cool. Actually, surprising how well I've done that. But I've got to say that I'm actually liking this episode better than the one that we had back in first season. The one that this one is replacing from back then. I actually prefer this one. Why? Tension. I actually wanted to see more tension between the other characters and finding out Rin was the son of Satan. I was expecting more of a reaction from the others back then. When I saw them having that reaction when Rin was the son of Satan, I was like, okay, they had the reaction, of course, of pissed. They had that reaction, but I was wondering about why they didn't carry on. Why they didn't show more attention to the rest of the characters. They showed one character for the rest. They showed that they didn't like him, but they didn't show him super pissed with him. But this one, they showed it more pissed, which I'm actually glad they did, because at least it gives more character than it took all the characters of how they felt. Now, I do feel bad for him, because we all know what happened if you watched the anime or the manga. We all know why he doesn't feel like he should be judged because he's the son of Satan. He doesn't feel like he should be judged for it. And because that, he tries his best to act happy, acts like nothing has changed, but you know what's going on. And it's just pretty much, I feel bad for him. And actually, I feel more bad for him than he did back then. Actually surprising. And the animation, this is the only thing you can easily tell that it's a separate season. It's from how the vibrant, the glow of the animation was. Now, I've no idea. I think it's still on A1 Pictures that's still making this season. A1 Pictures started last season. And I think and we all know it's been like 4, 5 years since Blue Exorcist has been out. Around there, 4 or 5 years. So by now, obviously, it's going to have better animation quality to it, which is the only way you can notice if this is actually a second season, not a continuation of the previous season. Because, like a separate episode for the previous season. Not because of the number of the episode, of course, or how it's titled, but also how its animation, how it actually looked. It was obvious that it was the second season. And then I was like, oh. So why did it feel, even though it looked like the second season, why did it also have the feel of the continuation of, like, one of the episodes of a specific arc we already saw? Like I said, already saw, like I said, it was not finding out that this wasn't, that point was an anime original. I would have been clueless. I'm lucky I found out that was an anime original ending. It was not because of that. I would have not noticed. I would have been like, huh? Why did it continue? I would have noticed it was continuing from that point, but I would have not noticed that it was that point was an anime original. Well, of course, by now I would notice stuff that was anime original, but right now I would have not noticed it was an anime original until now. But like I noticed before the beginning, so I would have been alright with it. So I was a bit happy and getting disappointed with this episode. Happy because at least it's gonna follow the manga, which is not gonna make me feel pissed about it. So I'm gonna at least about that. So it means if the season ever stops without anime original, of course, without anime original content, and we found I found out the manga's still ongoing, or starts the point where there could be more that there's still more to say in manga, I could catch up to the manga and read it from there and understand the story from there. And so I won't have to feel too bad about not understanding from the manga point of view. I got enough from the anime, so that'll be good. But what makes me upset is because this posted a second season. And it did its job in some degree because it's what's the difference between a second season and a remaster or a remake of a season. Now, even though it says season 2, even though it says season 2, it can still mean it's a remake or a continuation. Season 2, in a way, it should not really be called season 2. Really, personally, this should not have been called season 2. It should at least be called part 2. That might go away a bit. Part 2, I mean part 2. I mean part 2. I mean actually part 2. Or alternative routes, you could say. Or, I don't know how they could title it. I don't know how, but I just don't feel like this should have been called a second season, like the season 2 of Blue Exorcist. It should not have been called season 2 of Blue Exorcist because it's obvious that it was remaking from that point. It was remaking from that point of how the anime ended off. So, in a way, it's season 2, but yet again, it's also a remake. So, half season 2, half remake. That's what I'm getting from this season. A half season 2, half remake. So I'm gonna be interested in how the manga would finish it or continue from. I'm gonna be excited for that. But overall, the other episode I actually enjoyed. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I'd get clueless if it was not because of me understanding how Blue Exorcist actually worked. I would have been completely clueless. But overall, the episode itself, I enjoyed it, and I'm excited for the next episode because well, that's it. I'm just excited for the next episode because it's Blue Exorcist. Who wouldn't be? But anyway, overall, that's all I've got to say about Blue Exorcist Season 2, Episode 1. Anyway, guys, that's my review to Blue Exorcist Season 2, Episode 1. Hope you guys are good. Come on, chat fans today. If you guys understand that mail, comment in the description down below. My address there, and yeah. Hope you guys are good. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. Wow.